Okay.
Kylian Dictator.
Kylian Dictator.
Kylian Dictator.
Haaland. He's a blue just like his dad. Now he's at the Etihad. Haaland.
I like Kylian Dictator.
I want to get that as my text message ringtone. The best is when he's on the pitch. It morphs into him and he's wearing the suit.
Dictator suit. So funny.
All right, obviously we are back. We're going to talk a little bit more about football, soccer.
It's almost done.
I know. I was thinking about it today. When I checked and there was no games today, I was like, what the fuck? We got 8 games to make all the money we lost on betting.
Ain't gonna happen.
Speak for yourself, he says.
Ain't gonna happen.
All right. Welcome to Between Sets, where we talk about all things fitness, lifestyle, and apparently football. European football.
Where we talk about fit and not fit.
Fit and not fit. Today we're going to keep going. It is World Cup season, so we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the...
The fever is there, but it's subsiding a bit.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be sad.
Miss the group stages.
The group stages are the best part of the World Cup.
Good times.
100%. So we've talked, we talked about Holland. We talked about Messi a little bit last time.
Yep.
Let's not forget...
Some might call him the...
GOAT.
I ain't gonna say it, though.
One Portuguese guy.
We're going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes, we're going to talk about Ronaldo at 41 and how he's still in incredible shape. His biological age is, 29 or something like that. Kind of his, routine, his mindset, his whole come-up. Kind of just, talking about him in general and why many people consider him to be the greatest to ever do it on the soccer pitch.
There's definitely an argument for it.
Yes.
And we're also going to talk about, how as you age, you got the decline. We touched on it with Messi, but it's a little bit different in Ronaldo's case. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so, he's 41 years old. He's still starting for Portugal. It's his last World Cup. They were just eliminated, so it really is his last World Cup.
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Ronaldo. Obrigado.
But, yeah, he's just, he's done a lot. He's the most decorated individual in football history. 5 Ballon d'Ors, which is kind of nuts. And he's been at over 900-plus career goals. He's going to be the first player, probably this season, to hit 1,000 career goals. And Holland will do it by next year. But
how many more seasons is he playing?
He's still got at least one or two.
Few, right?
Yeah. His contract's 2 to 3 years.
That's why he didn't burst out into tears after the World Cup. He was kind of sad about it.
I think it's more internationally he won't be able to represent. But apparently his son, who's now 16, is probably going to be at the next World Cup. And then some people are saying that he might come back for the Euros at 43.
It's in 2 years.
Just to play with his kid.
I mean, why wouldn't you try?
Or even be on the roster and not start, but just be on the roster and put him on for a couple minutes.
You could totally do that.
Yeah.
Especially with his lifestyle.
Yeah.
Sure you can hold it like this.
And
then you can read it all at once.
The old landscape versus what's the other one?
Vertical.
That's what it is.
Portrait,
yeah. So just to go through a couple things. Yeah, so he's the most decorated player, we just said that. He's 41 years old. He's playing club football in Saudi Arabia and
for a shit ton of money.
Yes.
Is it $1 billion, I think?
His contract is $250 million because it's the maximum per year, but that's his salary with all the bonuses because he gets a bunch of lifestyle bonuses. It's valued at $680 million because he gets a luxury villa, private jet, a fleet of cars, a full staff. He gets a $100,000 bonus per goal.
I'm gonna throw up.
$55,000 bonus per assist.
I'm gonna throw up,
bro. He scores a goal, he makes more than people
I'm gonna throw up.
do in
I'm gonna throw up.
I'm gonna fucking throw up.
Step Brothers?
Yeah. Yet he's, even though Portugal's in this tournament, a lot of people are saying it should be Bruno Fernandes as the lead man. That's also, I think that's the same guy that was it's time to step aside to Ronaldo, and then he lost 10 million followers in overnight.
Step aside, Ronaldo.
Step aside.
No.
Boom. So we're going to talk about not that he's great, because we already know that. That's not really a debate.
Facts.
What does a man like him do, and how has he built his entire identity about being the best at what he does? So we're going to talk about his career briefly. It's a quick little segment here. So he started at Sporting Lisbon. He moved to Manchester United at 18. While he was there, he won 3 Premier League titles, a Champions League, and his first Ballon d'Or. So that would have been like 18 to 21, which is nuts.
Not even in your prime, dog.
Not even in his prime. Then he moved to Real Madrid in 2009, which was at the time, I think, like a world record transfer. He won 4 Champions Leagues and 4 more Ballon d'Ors, becoming the club's all-time. That's nuts. Then he was at Juventus, Manchester United, and
Forza
finally,
Juve.
I forgot that he was at Juventus briefly.
Yeah, he did play.
Yeah. And then now he's at the Al Nassr
He also
in
played
Saudi
for AC
Arabia.
Milan a little bit.
Yeah, I think he hopped around, but the ones he's known for
Yeah.
is Real Madrid, and he was on Man U as well for a while.
Of course.
In his prime, arguably the most complete footballer ever. Pace, power, finishing, aerial ability, work rate, mental
Dude,
strength.
his vertical is nuts.
Yeah, I think he holds the record for the highest header ever.
Yeah, that header
I think
was
it was like 9 or 10
ridiculous.
feet or something. Like, he literally jumped over a defender. I remember I saw the video.
That was when he was on AC Milan, I believe.
AC Milan, yeah.
Or Juventus.
Now at
AC.
41, he's still scoring prolifically in Saudi Arabia.
What?
Prolifically.
Prolifically.
I stumbled on my words. Still
And
an
sounded
extraordinary
Chinese.
periphery. Still an extraordinary physical condition for his age, and still the most followed person on the planet, which I just found out on the car right here. 680 million followers. That's almost as much money as he makes per year. Let's talk about the physical obsession that defined his career.
Lightweight.
It's another day at the office.
So, yeah, the difference between, we talked about Messi, right, and his daily routine or
Like his prep.
estimated prep or whatnot, how he's a bit more chill and there's a bit more of like a relaxed feeling with him.
Yeah.
This is the other side. Like, you know, in Rocky, when like Rocky's prepping in the fucking forest, like lifting rocks and like doing
logs and
pull-ups
shit.
on trees and
Yeah.
whatnot, and then you have whatever the Russian guy's name is, he's like in the fucking lab. He has the mouthpiece
mask
on, and
on.
he's like running on the treadmill. They're injecting him with shit. He's being like surveilled by 3-4 scientists at all
scientists,
time. This
yeah,
is like what Ronaldo's relationship with his well-being and his body
Yeah.
is. It's like meticulous. It's on point. There's a routine. 0 alcohol consumption, carefully controlled nutrition. His daily recovery protocols are on point, which is honestly what has allowed him to get to this point, especially at 41. We were just talking
We
about
talked
him.
about it with Messi too. We said like as you get older, the recovery is like more important than the training.
100%.
Yeah.
And like what has allowed him to, play at this level at this age. And yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if he played at 43 because it's only 2 years, and with this protocol, he totally could do it.
I think he's gonna do it.
So we touched on it several times, even episodes that he's not a topic, he comes up.
Well, when you talk about like the ultimate like athlete's routine,
Yeah.
he's like one of the first people that.
So
comes to mind.
he wears the Whoop, and Whoop has a proprietary like algorithm that defines your biological age, or what is it? No, is it biological age?
Yeah.
Instead of your actual numerical age.
Chronological.
And he's like significantly younger because of all these protocols. Body fat's low, muscle mass extremely high. His recovery markers are through the roof.
I wonder what his VO2 max is. Probably like 55 plus.
We should look that up. Yeah, so his body is like the project, and football is what the project was for, right? So he didn't just become the best footballer in the world. He kind of like engineered himself to do it, and so that's kind of what I touched on with the whole Rocky number 4.
It's kind of
thing.
crazy because so he's 41 and his biological age is 29, so he's 12 years younger biologically. And I'm just gonna like do a quick side thing here, but you know that guy Brian Johnson, the mechanical not mechanical,
The blueprint.
biohacking guy,
The blueprint.
the guy who spends $2 million a year on himself. You know what's crazy? Apparently, I've been seeing these articles. I don't know if they're true, but he has some kind of degenerative disease now, and I think it's because of all the stuff that he's done. His body's like shutting down because he just took it to a certain like
nature be like, nah.
Yeah, nah, you gon' die.
You gonna learn, boy.
You gonna learn.
You
Just
think you're gonna play God?
not on my watch.
There's only one God,
So
and it ain't you.
that's why with comparing it to Ronaldo, where it's like I think with that guy he does it specifically just to like stay alive as long as possible.
Yeah, that's to the extreme.
It's not
though.
even like for a purpose. Whereas
Yeah.
Ronaldo has obviously an amazing nutrition, supplement, recovery, and training protocol, but he's applying it to a sport, and I think that's why probably he's gonna live longer than that guy. I think.
Well, I think Brian Johnson does it to try and end death. Like he wants to live forever is
Yeah.
the goal.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a very out there goal, right?
Yeah.
But that's crazy.
Well,
I'm gonna have to do some research on that.
I know he thinks he's like I'm gonna live to like 150,
Yeah,
like minimum.
why the hell are you getting up and taking a shot of olive oil? Like, relax.
Do you see him on like
Relax.
interviews and stuff when he's outside? He has a hat that he wears that's an umbrella because he's scared of
Bro.
the UV rays. And I'm like, a little bit of sun exposure is not gonna kill
Dude,
you.
you're
bro.
not a vampire, you stupid bitch.
Also, we need the fucking sun.
Exactly.
like-
I take back that comment I just said, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Ronaldo. But yeah, Ronaldo's is different. It's like, it's not to that extreme. He's not doing all those protocols. He's doing what's required for his body to be primed to perform the best it can, right?
And be efficient. At
Yeah.
the sport.
So let's get into that next segment, and we already touched on it a little bit, but let's get into a bit more detail about what this decline actually looks like. So this is where the conversation kind of gets a bit more real with regards to Ronaldo, because at his peak he was one of the fastest players in the Premier League, clocked around or even above 38 kilometers an hour at full speed
That's pretty
regularly,
fucking fast.
which is, that's up there though. That's up there.
That's fast, dude.
Speed's gone now. That explosive first step that made him unplayable at 25 is measurably reduced. Like, you're not seeing him sprint at those full speed capacities anymore. So obviously, kind of like the last episode when we spoke about Messi and how his game style has changed, you see this with Ronaldo as well.
Oh yeah.
When he went to Juventus, his top level club impact dropped significantly. He moved to Saudi Arabia, not because it was a sporting peak, but because the top European clubs are like, yeah, we don't really want you as a starter. Like, we'll pay you less if you want to be on the bench. And he's like, nah.
Yeah, he wants to be the
Nah.
star of the show.
I'm a big brand. I'm gonna start. I want to start, and I don't blame him. Like, why would you not want to start?
Yeah, especially after all the work he put in.
Yeah, and yeah, he still starts ahead of, like you mentioned, Bruno Fernandes. He still starts ahead of him, which questionable.
I think
takes.
Bruno just really wants the captain's armband.
Yeah.
I think he just wants. I think there's a few Portuguese players and maybe even Portuguese fans. I know not a lot, but I think there's a bunch that are ready for the next generation.
The next generation.
Because obviously he was here in Toronto for the game against Croatia. That was his last World Cup game that he won and scored, which is pretty cool that it happened here. But it was, I'm sure you saw the videos, but dude, there was people outside his balcony for
His hotel.
48 hours.
Yeah.
It was like watching a scene from The Gladiator.
It's like more reception than the Pope.
And or when the Pope speaks to the masses, that's what it looked like, but on an even larger scale.
Yeah, and then he comes out and he's like, Vamos!
I remember Tia was talking about this with me, and she's like, it's kind of ridiculous that so many people would spend 2 to 3 days camping outside another person's thing. I'm like, I know what you mean.
It's that sheep mindset.
Yep. Damn, that's crazy. But yeah, obviously he has such a massive influence on so many. I think a lot of people, the average person that maybe is a fan of soccer or plays, started because of him, right?
You want to see your idol, right? And a lot of people will go to the extremes to see him. But you know what's crazy? I'm gonna hit you with some real hardness right here.
Okay.
Life lessons from Vic.
This is
Sidebar: life lessons from Vic. Sometimes the hardest thing to accept isn't that you're declining; it's that you're declining, and the world can see it before you can.
God damn.
That's probably what's happening.
You know
right?
that meme? We need to cut this.
How was Ronaldo in Premier League?
How was Prime Ronaldo? No. Cut it.
Okay, yeah, and as a trainer, you can kind of see this with clients, especially long-lasting clients that you've had in the past. They want to they've been incredibly fit, like in their 30s, late
Yeah.
30s, and they refuse to accept that maybe, now in their mid 40s, they require a different approach.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, I still got this shit. And you're like, you just
do-
hurt your knee last week.
I do have that happen sometimes, like with clients that I've trained for like 6, 7, 8 years, and they're like, "Oh, how come I was able to do pull-ups 2 years ago, and now it's like I'm struggling with it?" I'm like, well, the fact that you're still able to even do pull-ups is amazing. Yeah, maybe you're doing 2 reps than you did when you were 38 instead of 44, but like that's a massive difference.
It's a change.
Like, your body is like, I'm not going to be as strong as I was when I was in my mid-20s, or as athletic, you know what
Except
I mean?
for us, though, right?
Well, yeah, we're different. We're actually him times 2.
We're they.
We're they.
Oh, what the fuck? Take that back. We're them. No, we're him.
We're him. We're him. We both identify as him. But yeah, Ronaldo, we're going to talk about kind of like the psychology part now. But yeah, he's always said publicly that football is his life. Football is my life.
Mm-hmm.
But not
Cristiano Ronaldo is
something. He's
football.
football. But it's not something he does. It's something that he is. He just identifies with the sport. Since he was 12, every day has been structured about becoming and staying the best footballer on the planet. So this man has been literally locked in for 30 years. He just got up one day at 12 and he looked at his mom and said, "I'm about to lock in.
Football.
I'm about to lock in." His mom went,
Mama, football.
"About to lock in." However you say that.
Yo soy football.
It's a football. That was actually pretty good.
Thank you.
For 30 years, literally, his identity, his relationships, his self-worth, his routine, all of it has been in service of that single goal. The question is when that ends, and it is ending. We're in the end right now.
What's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen? Who is Ronaldo if he's always been football?
Big identity shift's gonna happen.
I think he's probably gonna be involved in. I think he's probably gonna end up coaching the national
In some
team.
capacity, or doing something football related.
Either training his son to basically
Yeah.
take over.
You know, like what this is kind of reminding me of is like David Beckham's retirement and everything. Like, what does a pro athlete do? And we're staying on football topic. Like, what do they do afterwards? And the crazy, like the impressive thing with Beckham is that like as he was at the top of his game, he was also like a brand, an icon, and he was already beginning the shift before his soccer talents even ended.
He had a plan.
Yeah.
Like he knew when he was done. He'd
get
be
involved
going
with Inter Miami. He has like all these deals and shit. He's in commercials and stuff now. Yeah, all that stuff.
His, like,
so it's like the
supplement
transition for him was so smooth and easy that like maybe he doesn't even really miss playing because like just
He's
the
kept
next
busy.
level of life has occurred. Whereas for Ronaldo, he's the same thing. He's a big brand. He has all these like brands under him that like are sponsoring him. But like, I don't really see that same change or transition to like something else.
Because
like you won't see him on TV or anything.
Well, I was gonna say, I don't think he really enjoys the public eye.
Yeah,
like, he's very private with his family.
Meanwhile, he has the most followers,
which is crazy.
I do not like public.
Whereas David Beckham is always in the public eye.
He loves that.
Like
shit.
he loves being in the public eye, buddy. But yeah, like you were saying, it's like now he's facing this psychological challenge of like, what do you do now? When you are your job, the prospect of that ending isn't a career change. It's like, it's the death of an identity, which is huge. He almost has to find a way to reinvent himself.
Like an ego death.
Ego death, yeah. Research on elite athletes, specifically retirement, consistently shows that they go into like depression, loss of purpose,
big time.
and we see it a lot with other sports. A lot of these athletes, like, we're gonna keep it in soccer, but Ronaldinho was a good one, like, and even Neymar recently, like, they're very similar in that sense. It happens a lot to the Brazilians, Ronaldo as well. But like, they get to the top of their game, and like, you're coming from like the favelas of Brazil, living in a mud hut, and then you're making billions of dollars or hundreds of millions, and you party, and like you go from this life of no one knows who you are to everybody knowing who you are. I think that affects a lot of people. Obviously Ronaldo did a great job of not letting that get to him. But I think like a lot of these athletes that I've seen now, like I watched a video the other day, it was like a Real Madrid like Legends game, and it had Ronaldo and Ronaldinho, and they were like just fat and slow. They still would kick the ball like really well and shit. But
you mean OG Ronaldo? Sorry, yeah.
OG
Brazil Ronaldo.
Yeah, bro, he's like 120 kgs.
Yeah, he's got a gut on him.
He is a big boy. Even Ronaldinho, he's like he just looks like a fat Jamaican guy.
That guy signed to a level 3 club in South America, I believe.
Ronaldinho? That's crazy.
Yeah, he's coming back next season.
He's like 43, 44, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. He signed.
But yeah, like I said, they get depressed, lost a lot of them end up committing suicide as well. Like that has happened to athletes.
Big time.
Their relationships end because like they're married to someone while they're athletes, and then their partner is like, the fuck, like what's gonna happen now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Ronaldo seems to be extending his career.
Sounds like a good partner.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, you don't make
through thick and thin.
You don't make $600 million a year anymore. Only 500. I go find somebody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think like he is probably going to stay involved in the sports in some capacity.
I would imagine so.
But now, like, how do we compare that to the gym? Something a little closer to home. So people who define themselves as entirely as someone who trains can face a similar version of this when they get injured, they age, or even life circumstances force them to stay. And I've experienced this with clients, like when, a client of mine had like a surgery on their foot, and then like it was like they went into like a huge depression because they would train 5-6 days a week, and then it's like all of a sudden you can't walk and you're bedridden, and it just like completely fucks you up mentally. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, just as an example. But even someone who's not a client but a gym goer whose whole personality is being in the gym. Like, I'm not saying my whole personality is being in the gym, but like if I were to get like
the fuck are you talking about?
I have other personalities. It is a large part of my personality, but like if I were to like for some reason be unable to train, it would definitely fuck with me.
What about unable to train in game?
If I can't train in game, you take me in my wheelchair to the nearest bridge and just fucking.
That's this man's gamer tag.
That's
by
my
the
gamer
way.
tag.
Add him up. Train in game.
Train in game. You can find me on all platforms.
You know what's interesting? I could see Ronaldo doing like some kind of next kind of fitness gym or some shit like that.
Yeah,
like the Ronaldo method or
like
some
a
shit.
facility or something, like a training facility. That would be
like
really
an
cool.
F45, but it's R.
This is
what's
interesting.
His number right now?
Is R9? No, R9. He's 7.
R7, right?
R7. Yeah.
R7 training.
But here's a personal question for you.
Fuck.
How much of your identity is tied to what you do? Training, the podcast, DJing. I'm talking to you specifically because I don't DJ. What happens if that identity of one of those things or all of them disappeared tomorrow?
You know what's cool for me is I have like 20 hats on, so it's all good.
I am man of many hats.
I am man that wear hat. I change hat. Change. I stay the same.
Yeah, it's very nice. I feel like same question reflected at me. I would probably I'd find something else to obsess.
Except for the video games. If the video game goes, Matt goes.
I'm getting to Neuralink. Turn me off and just send me up to fucking.
Beam me up.
Just drop me off in Azeroth. And
Beam me up, Scotty.
Leave me there. Okay. Obsession.
That'd be sick.
Yep. It's not going to be long before we get to that point in technology.
Just like play games with your mind closed.
The other day, I'm just going to sidebar here. The other day I was sitting on the couch playing my Steam Deck, right? And I'm laying like this and I'm like, man, I wish I could just like look up and there'd be a giant screen. And there's glasses that you can get. I forgot to go XR or something. You plug them into the Steam Deck or anything.
Yeah.
And it just projects like a 200-inch screen.
Yeah, it's like a VR.
And I was thinking about it like in my head in the moment of like, man, how would this look from like Tia's perspective? Sitting on the couch, I'm just like, just like looking up into this.
But he's paralyzed. He's just
I'm just
thumbs
like
are moving.
Staring up into the screen. I'm like, how fucked is that? But we're gonna get there.
The only things moving are your thumbs.
He's one.
Is he breathing?
Yeah, he's one.
He's breathing.
Okay, so obsession over versus discipline, and where is that line? The debate that splits opinions on Ronaldo more than anything. At 41, maintaining the physical condition that he has is extraordinary. The discipline required, sleep, nutrition, training, the sacrifice of a normal life. That's another thing that I think is pretty overlooked. Like, we're talking about obviously he's got to have his shit dialed in, but he can't have a normal life. Like, he doesn't drink. He doesn't really
That's
party.
his choice.
But that's part of the sacrifice, I guess.
That is his burden to bear.
But he's proof that the body can be maintained far longer than most people believe if you treat it with that
With
level.
respeto.
Yeah, with that level of seriousness, exactly. You know, to anybody that's like has excuses about age and decline, arriving earlier than it needs to, just think about him. Think about Ronaldo and what he's done.
That's it. See you guys in the next one.
There is something genuinely beautiful. Did you write this? Genuinely beautiful about a man who refuses to accept limits.
How did you know?
That sounds like something you would say. In the case that it's concerning, I'll do the positives, you do the negatives.
Normally we swap at segments, but man called an audible, went halfway through the segment and told me, here you go.
Get in there.
In the case that it's concerning for...
Like that obsession versus discipline.
Oh,
like when it
okay.
gets to a point where it's like, okay, it's too much. Is it though? Is it ever too much?
Well, I guess this is what we're discussing.
Beat me up.
I guess if you're too obsessive to the point that it can't be like
what affects
modulated
affects
or
your family, maybe?
yeah, if it gets to that point, it obviously could be seen as a negative, not to the person that's obsessing,
Family is
but
the most
others.
important.
Yeah, the refusal to accept that other people should lead the team over him,
Ah.
stuff like that. It's more like ego.
Do you think,
It's
though...
not really leadership or discipline. It's kind of maybe the ego is taking over.
Do you think with this, like, beef with Bruno Fernandes and all that, do you think that's Ronaldo saying, I want to stay captain and I want to lead the team? Or it's, like, the who's it Mourinho? Who's coaching them? I think it's
Yeah,
Adam.
I feel like it's
Like-
a mixture.
Like, it's both.
Like he's at his last World Cup. You got to let him lead the
play.
fucking team.
Yeah.
But also, I see the other side.
I feel like maybe some of the other players, even out of respect for him,
Yeah.
but like they probably just feel like they're not getting fully utilized.
What do you think of this? The greatest players always know when to step back or when to change, adapt. Messi adapted his game, his role, positioning. Ronaldo has potentially largely refused to do so. Is that because he just thinks he still can handle it, or is that because he's not ready to let go?
I think it's both. I think he's both thinks he's and is, for the most part, capable or more capable than the younger guys. And B, I think, it's because it's been his life for 30 years. He's just like refusing for it to end.
It's kind of wild when you refer to yourself in the third person, though.
Yeah.
Like
Cristiano
at that point,
Ronaldo
are you
scored a
even
goal.
like you, or you're just like
the persona that you've
It's crazy.
created? Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, kind of potentially working against him and his team if you think about it.
Well, like when Portugal won the Euro, that game, it was 0-0. They subbed off Ronaldo in the 67th or 68th minute, immediately scored. And I remember talking to my Portuguese friends at the time, because everyone was like obviously glazing Ronaldo. They always do.
They still do.
They still do. But I was like, you guys see how the team plays without him. When their team's not, the objective when he's on is get the ball to him. But when he's not on, they're like, oh fuck, we have 10 other guys
We're free.
that we can play with, and
Free
they ended
at
up
last,
winning.
free at last.
Coach, can we go on finally?
So the deeper question is: a life with no room for anything but the pursuit actually a good life?
Nah.
We'll leave that up to you. So the quality that made Ronaldo the best in the world.
He's gonna let me say nah. And
Yep.
not giving a pay. Whoa.
We're gonna sit in the. Okay, fine. We'll sit in the tension for a bit.
This is a two-man show. We're gonna get canceled by a bunch of Portuguese guys or girls.
I don't know. That's something to be interpreted.
I think.
But yeah.
I mean, if you're a professional athlete at the highest level, probably yes. But for the average person who's trying to be really, 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 really ridiculously good-looking or good at something,
He is both of those things.
I don't think it's like you need to have some balance, right? I'm pretty sure we talked about balance like 50,000 times on the podcast.
Yeah, and we ain't about to stop.
No, and I think it's like, it's nice to be extremely committed and driven, but like if you can't enjoy your life, what's the point?
80-20, fam.
Like, what's the
I'm
point? of
always
living?
going to preach that.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Next segment. Bringing our... People are going to be like, screw you guys, blah, blah, blah. I'm not taking sides. I'm just talking here.
Just talking.
Ronaldo versus Messi. 2 ways to age. The comparison is perfectly timed, too, because, you know, Ronaldo just getting out of the World Cup.
This is probably
Messi
Messi's last World Cup.
Skimming by and staying
He's
in.
38. He'd be
People
40. He would be 42 in the next World Cup.
I think he'll do it. So, yeah.
The FIFA president will want him.
Both have... Messi has adapted his game entirely, less pace, different positioning, plays in pockets, walks a lot, knows when to battle, uses energy for the moments that matter, which brings out unexpected like pushes and goals, whereas Ronaldo is kind of still attempting to be a version of the player he was.
Yeah.
Running the channels, attempting to dominate when it comes to physicality.
He's still like running the pitch a lot.
Competing with players that are 15 years younger.
Yeah.
And yeah, he has that ability to do so because of all of the training and like perfect planning for his body. But still, you're probably not going to be able to keep up with someone in their mid to late 20s, right?
Definitely not.
And there's just like, you could tell that stylistic difference of like someone who...
And you have to keep in mind the guys that he's competing with are also professional athletes, so it's not like it's untrained or semi-trained. These are people that are doing the
next
protocols
in line.
he's doing, but probably even more efficient because, you know, 20 years ago, training has changed so much, and like specifically the nutrition, supplementation, and recovery has changed so much that like nowadays the athletes that are getting treated now with their recovery protocols and stuff is like exponentially better than it was 20 years ago. So not only is he competing with the guys who are just biologically younger, but that are experiencing the same, if not even more rigorous and dialed in.
Yeah,
training.
well, the sporting world and the technology, everything just keeps getting better and better and better, right? So you can only expect the up-and-coming athletes to perform better and have more endurance, stuff like that, power, strength. So it's just like an exponential increase in talent.
And it's only going to get
That
more and
being
more.
said, though, I haven't seen like any joga bonito from like the Brazilians, like the tiki-takas dying. Like where the hell that shit going?
That's a good question.
You know?
The Samba style.
Yeah, where the hell that shit going?
In regards to the Messi-Ronaldo debate...
It's fucking hot out here.
It is. We sweating. The two of them, adaptation versus resistance, is a good way. Like we said, Messi has really adapted, and he's playing slower, and he's kind of just like chilling until he needs to touch the ball, whereas Ronaldo is just straining himself always. It's not about who was better in their prime.
Do you agree with that, though?
Yeah, I would. I've watched all the games, and when I see Messi play, he just chills.
But he's walking.
He just waits, and then. But the team is so designed around getting the ball to him. Like they've run so many plays where he knows where he needs to be.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the Portuguese team is still designed to get the ball to Ronaldo, but Ronaldo, like you said, it's like he still plays the whole pitch. Like he doesn't just chill back and wait for goals.
Yeah.
Which is admirable for sure, but like, you know, you have to adapt. Like you're getting older.
There's that like refusal.
Yeah, he refuses to. I think he just refuses to accept that his time is coming to an end.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I understand that, but like at the same time, you kind of have to. That's time comes for us all. We're just dust in the wind.
Dust in the wind.
And like I said, it's not about who was better in their prime. They're both extremely decorated athletes. That debate is completely separate, and it's endless. You can go back and forth about.
I'm not debating that.
And it's about which approach to the back end of greatness is more sustainable, more honest, and ultimately more impressive. And I think Messi does take the cake on that one. There is an argument about adapting gracefully that requires more self-awareness and the courage to accept that things are changing. Right? So there is a bit of like humility in that as well, where you're like, okay, I'm in my last leg of my career. Like, how do I make it good and not get injured and, you know, and not have these expectations weighed on me, right? You know, let's talk about, you know, a little bit about our clients real quick, but like when you work with clients, either of us, who are aging and struggling to accept it, How do you like structure that in a training context, like the Messi approach versus the Ronaldo approach, and which one is better to do for clients long term? I mean, obviously the adaptation is adapting. We can't. It's hard to compare.
The adaptation is
professional.
adapting.
Did I say that?
That's what you said, bro. The adaptation is adapting.
That's
Kylian Dictator.
That's crazy. Yo,
Well,
Mbappe's another one.
When it comes to the clients, you honestly have to honor what their wishes are, right? Like, obviously, you try to push them towards a goal that is better suited for them. But if they ultimately say no,
I'm just saying hi to my cat. Sorry. Hi. He's staring at me.
if they ultimately say no and they want to do whatever they want to do, then you have to try and, structure what they want, because
Yeah, it's definitely a fine line. You have to, because they hire you for your expertise.
you could kind of suggest, like, say they don't want to change, they're not ready to change their ways. You could kind of suggest different fine-tuned, or different approaches to still get to that
or like
same
what's
goal.
something what's important to you to
Yeah.
keep doing 10 pull-ups.
Like maybe
okay,
lower impact work towards
less,
the same
less
goal.
volume,
Yeah.
but less volume but same intensity.
Yeah.
So they feel.
But I feel like most times they'll listen to you.
as they should, because
which
that's what
is-
they're hiring you for.
Yeah. So like you would just have to recommend a little switch, less focus on whatever is hindering them or straining their body, and more focus on what actually works for them at the time, I guess.
So here's some inspiring lessons from our boy Ronaldo, and also some cautionary tales. So the more inspiring stuff that we can take from this is your body is more maintainable than you think. I think a lot of people hit their 30s and they kind of just be like, well, this is it.
I've seen it too many times.
Bro, like, we have friends that are all in our 30s, and sometimes when I hang out with some of my friends, I'm like,
I do a double take.
I'm like, you look like you've aged 72 years. Like,
yeah,
what's
because
going
they
on?
gave up.
Or they're like, oh, I'm so tired, or like,
Yeah.
they have no energy to do anything, and it's just like tons of excuses.
It's
And
really
it's
the
just-
excuses that are the worst.
If you treat your body well, you train and you eat and you sleep, like the decline curve is way smaller. But then on that flip side, if you don't do that, the decline, like I've seen people hit 30 and then just decline so rapidly, and then they're like in their 40s and they're like at the doctor every other weekend.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Sad.
That ain't gonna be me, I'll tell you that much. And longevity in any pursuit requires doing the
Sacrifice,
fundamentals, like the
effort,
sleep, nutrition,
consistency,
recovery, exactly.
day
effort,
in,
consistency.
day out, except for Saturday.
I think that's like I think the consistency as you get older, because I think people have kids, and then the life happens, you get married, you buy a house, whatever, you start your life.
I'm interested to see when I have a kid, because every time I've heard that excuse, like, oh, I can't get to the gym because, I got the kids and all that shit, and I keep saying, get to the fucking gym.
Yeah, I'm going to bring my child with me. I don't know what you mean.
I'm going to be lifting the child.
That kid's going to be lifting the minute he's born. Now, the more cautionary lessons. So you want to, building an identity that isn't entirely dependent on a single pursuit. So kind of diversify yourself a little bit, because the more of yourself you put into one basket, the more catastrophic it feels when that basket breaks.
Diversification.
I'm about to diverse the portfolio.
Exactly.
Know the
Speaking like a
difference
stock trader.
between refusing to
Business
quit
analyst.
and refusing to adapt. One is courage, the other is avoidance. And the people around you can often see your decline before you can, and being open to that feedback is a form of strength,
Yes.
not weakness. And I
Listen.
think that's very true. I think people get very defensive as well, and then tend to shut out. And lastly, grace in transition is its own kind of greatness, which is true, right?
Damn, that was
we
that was
spitting fire
heavy.
today. We
That
spitting
was
fire.
heavy.
The closing statement regarding those two little topics.
Bring it home,
there.
baby.
Ronaldo isn't a cautionary tale about ego. He's a complicated human story about what happens when you give everything to one thing and that thing starts to leave. Most people will face a version of this.
Ooh.
The question is, what have you built alongside it? Oh my God.
We should ask David Beckham.
Yeah. And then just to finish off for fun, because it wouldn't have been an episode without some rapid fire, agree or disagree fast.
No,
Yes.
don't do it to me.
Ronaldo should be starting for Portugal. Agree or disagree?
Well, they're out.
Okay, assume that beginning of the World Cup.
I think he should be subbed in
I agree.
afterwards or
Yeah.
subbed off.
I think
if he starts, he should sub off. But I feel like they could just bring him in as a
Like, he shouldn't play the full 90.
yeah, exactly.
I think having him start, given it's his last one, and to like lead the team, but not play him 90 minutes. Like, get this man a goal and get him off. He's playing for ego, not for the team.
Hard to say. That could go either way.
In the context of Portugal, it's kind of hard. It could be both.
Could
I
go
think
either way.
He wants it for the team, but more for Portugal. But he wants to be the one to do it. Like, the reason Portugal wins the World Cup and the Euros.
I guess that's more egotistical in the end.
Yeah. His physical dedication of 41 is the most impressive thing in his career right now. I would agree.
Well, yeah, he's not really doing
Anything else?
Like,
I mean,
he scored a couple goals. He's still performing, at the elite level.
Messi has handled aging better than Ronaldo.
I don't know about that one. Ronaldo's looking pretty fucking
Yeah,
good.
Messi looks worse than Ronaldo.
Yeah.
If we're talking physically, I'm going to go with Ronaldo. Portugal will win this World Cup with Ronaldo. Disagree, because they got kicked out.
A little late on that one.
Most people quit too early. Ronaldo will never quit. Agree or disagree?
Never give up.
I mean, he'll probably quit at some point. The greatest,
Not willingly.
not willingly. The greatest athletes are always the last ones to know it's over.
No.
No, I think a lot of people know when to call it early.
Not even calling it early. Maybe calling it at the right time.
At the right time, yeah. Okay, that's pretty much all we had. Is there anything you want to add to that? Any takeaways from today's episode?
I just want to leave a question to the listener or listeners.
There's like 3 or 4.
What's your take on how Ronaldo's career is ending? And furthermore, is he the GOAT? Let us know what you think in the comments. I want some examples. I want some reasoning. I need to hear. I don't want to just hear some blind shit saying
It's
like,
going to be all
yes,
our,
he is. And that's
all our
it.
Portuguese fans.
Just Portugal
and
flags.
Portugal flags, just like nonstop. Yeah,
Su.
sweet.
That's it.
All right.
FIFA is almost done. I think we're going to bang out one more FIFA episode.
I think we should do one after the tournament's done or the final, before the final.
Yeah.
And then we can discuss our predictions
And
for
then
the final.
we going back to some
Norway.
crazy shit.
Norway's going to take it.
That would be nuts.
That would be nuts. All right. Catch you guys in the next one.
Ow.
I need to shower so bad, dude.